I keep seeing these stories, and I know y'all are like, Kim, you've done this story. I know, but it's still a problem. Like it's still a problem. Yeah, your kids are out here digital dope fiends. And we have to like really address what's happening here. So, Will, if you could please pop up that popular science piece for me, because a couple of studies were published in recent days that even got my attention, so to speak. But these kind of stories have captured my attention because I feel as though we're way too cash about the normalization and the proliferation and the use of digital devices and social media, right? Because we have been conditioned, taught to think and to look at technology as a net positive, as something universally benevolent. If it's new, then surely it must be good. Well, y'all, I guess, but no, this is capitalism. Okay, we are living under capitalism here. Capitalism in America, if nothing, has taught us that they will sell you all kinds of harmful things so long as a buck is made. Correct? Cigarettes, very legal. Alcohol, also very legal. A lot of things that are harmful to your body, your body, mind, and spirit are 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 very readily available for sale. And these digital things should be viewed very much in the same way. So, this is a piece from Popular Science this week. It says the U.S. Surgeon General warns of a profound risk of harm, a profound risk of harm for kids on social media. Now, this particular study addressed social media. It says at this time, we do not have enough evidence to determine if social media is sufficiently safe for children and adolescents. Now, think about that, y'all. They don't think it's safe. Fuck appropriate. You know what I'm saying? The Surgeon General, and where we can, and sure, we can have a conversation about how much weight and or credibility we want to give an office like the US Surgeon General or the Centers for Disease Control, especially in a, I don't want to call it a post-COVID environment, but since the pandemic, we've seen that public health has really fallen down and dropping the ball. But check this out. So it says, following a similar report issued by the American Psychological Association earlier this month, the U.S. Surgeon General released an advisory statement on Tuesday warning of social media platforms and their being potentially harmful and their potential harmful effects on minors. And scroll, 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 scroll. There's so many ads and stuff on this stuff. It just makes me very angry. Says while cautioning that more research is needed, and we're going to get into the more research needed part from the Biden administration. It says that we still need to understand that the full scope of social media platforms and their impact on children, adolescents, and teens. The U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, as was our office, released in a statement on Tuesday, and discusses that they have found in one study that as little as 3 hours a day of social media usage and exposure by teen and adolescents can have a potentially harmful increase. They've seen it, a marked increase in symptoms of anxiety, depression, and body self image. And these effects disproportionately are more harmful to girls and boys. I wonder what that's about. Because it does say this in this article. It says, it says additional research cites these figures are more harmful, in particular, to girls who face cyberbullying and body image issues. I mean, I would imagine that boys also experience cyberbullying and body image issues, but we'll let the science speak. The article says at this time we do not have enough evidence to determine if social media is sufficiently safe for children and adolescents, the advisory said. So this is interesting because this is hold on. This is coming from the Biden administration, and all this is being released, I think, in conjunction with National Mental Health Awareness Month. And the Biden administration also weighed in on that. But the point is, guys, like there's a couple of things that we need to address. Hold on. Let me get well, actually, I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place. Nigga, I'm having a mental health crisis. Like this is why no, but no bullshit. Like I'm not having a mental health crisis, but you don't see me on the social medias like that, y'all. And that's intentionally because I don't need it. Khadijah don't need you. Like I don't need that shit in my head. I don't. I can't doom scroll. I can't rage scroll. I cannot. I can't look at everybody on Instagram on the fucking beach and I'm not at the goddamn beach. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, do I feel anxious and depressed and issues about body self-conscious? Yes, I feel all that cuz people are having more fun than me. And that makes me sad. It makes me want to go do I don't know, not anything serious, but you understand. But you understand. This shit affects adults. I'm a big adult out here. Imagine what all this shit is doing to the kids. Do it to the kids especially. Will pop up that other joint, the other joint. I'm sorry, that's really annoying. I shouldn't do that in y'all's ear. My apologies. There was another study that came out. Yes, it says study examines how social media and technology affect mental health, and especially when they talk about in children. And so, all right, so some people would be like, well, Kim, uh, my kids are small enough that they don't engage in social media, but I do give them the tablet and the smartphone, so they will shut the fuck up. Right? I get it. I get it. But that is impacting the way that toddlers are also engaging and interacting, and it sometimes can delay the onset of speech. It can delay their or have an impact on their hand-eye coordination because they're not doing enough with the hands except just holding the fucking tablet and or digital device. And when kids, like little babies, not babies, but I guess more so like toddlers and infants. What's the age that y'all give the kids the tablet so they start shutting the fuck up? I'm guessing a year and a half, two, something like that. So when exposed to these things for prolonged periods of time, I think incremental screen time has proven to be less harmful. But when people, park the baby in front of the damn tablet and then go clean the house. um it might be not doing you might could encounter some more problems later. You may not even notice or even peep any sort of developmental issues with the infant or toddler at the time, but it can affect the way that they engage and socialize with other people as they get older, because the nuance of eye contact and intonation and body language, these are ways that humans communicate. Like this is how we have communicated for millions of years. And here we are in the smart dumb times, the smart dumb fucking times, and all of a sudden we're not communicating in these ways anymore. And then we shake our heads and wonder why these kids can't talk to strangers. You know what I'm saying? They scary. They don't want to drive. They don't want to leave the house. They don't want to, maybe advocate for themselves in certain situations. I mean, like we can't wonder these things and be like, oh well, I guess he's just these newfangled kids. No, no. The digital dope fiendedness is impeding their development. And again, I think we're way too casual about, number one, the age at which we subject these kids to these devices and such. And some might even argue, okay, well, what's the difference, Kim, between, oh, thanks, Will. what's the difference between, what's the difference between the kid looking at the tablet for 2 hours And the kid, when Will's parents used to get tired of him, they would sit him in front of the TV and make him watch Aladdin. He would be watching The Little Mermaid for 2 whole hours. What's the difference between giving the kid a tablet, that, and then Will's mama and daddy making him watch The Little Mermaid when he got on their nerves? The difference is this: usually there was a little bit more engagement, interaction. The television screen was enough of a distance away that it wasn't directly in the child's face. And I don't know, and I'm sure there may be some science behind that, like the actual distance away from the eyes or the face to the screen, and how that impacts the level of engagement, the level of engrossment from the kid with the content or whatever. And to be honest, I don't really have an answer for that, because I too watched a lot of TV. I watched a lot of TV. Watched a shit ton of TV with all the commercials. Ain't no DVR. You wasn't no fast forwarding through commercials in 1985. You had to watch all them Jones. Or you had to hurry up and go to the bathroom, to the kitchen, and be back before the commercial break ended. It was a skill to that. So, but this is different, everybody. This is different because even with purchasing cell phones, and I know there's a lot of debate about what ages should kids have phones, but the kids are experienced with the phones by 3, by 4, by 5, right? So naturally, the kid, when they get to be 8, 9, natural that they would want their own cell phone. And I can empathize and sympathize with the parents who are really struggling with this, because it's becoming clear to me that Generation X, maybe not the greatest parents. Gen X, Gen X. I don't know what kind of job a parent in Gen X is doing out here. It's mixed. It's definitely a strong C. I would not say that Gen X is out here killing it on the parenting front. I mean, there's some astounding. I was trying to say exceptional and astounding, but it came out astounding. I'm sounding like ear doctor. Some exceptional, astounding Gen X parenting, but then there is some very bad parenting going on. So I can empathize with the conscious parents who are aware of all of this shit, right? And they're trying to delay for as long as possible whether or not they're gonna get their child a cell phone. But then you got these fucking dipshit parents who really don't like their fucking kids and will give them anything so they'll shut the fuck up. It's wild. Like, the pandemic was very revealing about how much people don't like their kids. Like, people would be on social media screaming about, I'm stuck in the house with all these fucking kids, and it's like, but these are your kids. It's like, if they're annoying you, how do you think they show up in the world? It's weird. Like, I don't think people, I don't know, I can't put a percentage on it, but there's definitely a percentage of people out here who do not fucking like the kids. They don't like to be around them. They don't want to be in the house with them. So they give them the phone, the tablet, the video game console, whatever, so they'll shut the fuck up. And I know that makes it harder for y'all good parents because the peer pressure comes in, right? Well, Devontae got the new blah blah blah. How come I can't have it? And it's like, well, you can't. And I can't even imagine what those conversations go, or how, or what they sound like. But this is not a drill, everybody. This is not a game. Study after study after study after study reveals that social media exposure to adolescents and teens is seriously harming them. The rates of suicidal ideation, the rates of suicide attempts, and even people who manage to complete the act, those things have been driving and trending upwards. And not to say that people didn't, or young people, teens didn't have depression and anxiety in the 80s or 90s. I just think it manifested itself differently. And for example, if you were in a bullying situation back in the day, when you got home, that's it. What, no more bullying. I guess the bullies, if you had a bold bully, maybe they would come to your house. But by and large, The bullying was an in-school activity or on the bus activity, but by the time you got home and got your after-school snack together and popped up the TV, you watching cartoons, you're not being bullied no more. Well, that's not the case with these kids. These kids are being bullied 24/7, 24 fucking 7. And that's another thing. You got to think about that. Is that the kind of shit you want to expose your kid to? And it's not even so much that even if your child does not have a smartphone, for example, and is not being digitally subjected to cyberbullying because they don't have a smartphone, yes, the bullying is just waiting for them when they get back to school the next day. I mean, but that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I just the idea of being bullied at home on my phone. Well, I guess I have experienced that too, but I wasn't a kid. I was a big adult. I can't imagine what that must be like. Like, that's got to be very depressing, anxiety inducing, and would certainly undermine and undercut your self esteem. So, I don't know what kind of collective societal decision needs to be made here that we can collectively agree that children under the age of 15 should not be cell phone owners. And like, I got to tell folks that be like, well, I get my kid a phone for safety. These kids still get snatched out here. Okay. Like, back in my day, not only did we not have phones, we used to ride our bikes for miles, miles and miles away from home. No one had a cell phone. No parent could reach their child. During summer break, between the hours like 11 and 4, 11 and 5, and it wasn't too hot outside, nigga, you think I'm in the house? No. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm going to somebody else's house. And we didn't have no public transportation in Laurel at that time. So how was I getting there? I was pushing that bike miles and miles away, to and fro. Right? No cell phones. We was free range children. I don't know what the kids is now. They are on digital leashes. And I'm not even like, again, this is just this a lot. Some of this is me talking out of my child free ass. Okay, I understand that, but no, seriously, I am concerned. I am very concerned about the level of digital dependency and the level of basically digital expectation that we're putting on these kids. Right? Like, we are telling them in not so many words. It's normal to check 7, 8 things on your phone. It's normal to be a slave to your notifications. And I'm curious, what's the kind of example some parents are putting forth, because we can't complain about the amount of screen time that the kids are doing if the parent is living on Facebook. This is all on the Instagram and doing the most, right? It's time for us, like, we do have to kind of set better examples, I think, for the kids, because we are normalizing these extended periods of time on our phones and on our tablets. And this is how the kids, to them, that is going to be all they know. It is us, it is those who are, I don't know, well, let's say Will's age, 35 and older. We know the difference. You know what I'm saying? The kids today, they don't know the difference. Born after 2000, they do not know the fucking difference. All they know is the screen, multiple screens, medium sized screens, palm sized screens. That's all they know. But I don't think that it's good for them that be all they know, because these social media platforms, I mean, we know what their algorithms do. We know that their algorithms are tailored in a way to try to keep the kid hooked and scroll and scroll and scroll forever. We get that, but do our kids get that? Do they understand the ways that their brains are being manipulated into these long sessions on any given social media platform, right? Do they understand? I mean, a variety of things. Do they understand media literacy? Do they understand the kind of information that they are consuming? Do they understand how marketing and commercials work? Of course they don't, but they would if they mamas and daddies told them. So it's up to y'all to tell them, and be aware. Like, so I have a friend who has a small child, almost 2, and the kid gets to watch, what I don't even know what it is. It's called Balooey. Bluey, y'all know what it is? I don't know what it is. I don't have a kid. I know nothing about children's entertainment. But so the kid gets to watch that for 30 minutes, and that's it. That's all the screen time the kid gets. He gets to watch TV for a half hour. Does not get access to the phone, does not get access to a tablet. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's good. And I know a lot. Maybe that's why Gen X is not doing this parenting thing all that well, because a lot of us were raised by the television. A lot of us too were raised by the TV. But the TV went off. Like TV used to go off. Like TV wasn't a 24/7 thing. TV ended, right? What was it? Midnight, 1 o'clock. Oh my God. How old are we, y'all? When they would play the national anthem and then the shit would go to static. Dog, imagine. You would think something would be really wrong if your any one of your thousands of cable TV stations did that. If they at midnight played the national anthem and went to static, you would think that something was terrible was going on. So I just want to encourage you all. Again, I'm not saying listen to the fucking U.S. Surgeon General, not at all. But hold on. We'll run that clip from Corinne Jean Pierre, the Biden White House press secretary. She made this announcement. This was a few days ago. But yeah. Let's check this out.
Today, during National Mental Health Awareness Month, the Biden Harris administration is announcing the development of a new interagency task force on kids' online health and safety and a series of additional actions from several agencies to safeguard children's privacy, mental health, and safety online. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy also released a new advisory on social media and youth mental health that calls on policymakers, technology companies, researchers, parents, and young people to work together to make social media safer for kids. These new administration-wide actions will help advance President Biden's national strategy to tackle the mental health crisis and protect the health and well-being of our nation's young people.
Thank you for that. No, I remembered why I pulled that clip, because I'm like, wow, say absolutely nothing in 250 words. How can you say absolutely fucking nothing in 250 words? Well, Corinne Jean-Pierre just did that. This country in capitalism intentionally tries to play catch up when it comes to regulations, right? When it comes to regulating new technologies, intentionally the US federal government was like, we this is some new shit. We don't know what to do with this. Oh, I guess we'll just figure it out in 30 years. Oh. After how many generations have been exposed to the Wild West online and on social media? Yeah. That's some weak sauce shit right there from the Biden administration, because they announced that they're starting an interagency task force. And again, tell me you're not doing fuck all about the problem by telling me you go and put a task force on the fucking shit. How long have social media platforms been in existence, everybody? Are we going with MySpace? No, fuck that. I mean, we can go with Black Planet. I remember being on Black Planet in like '01. MySpace, I don't remember joining MySpace until I'm gonna say '06 ish, '06. And then the rest of it just sort of fell in from there. But I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, we're talking 20 plus years of social media platforms being a thing. And what's there what is there any regulations? And not to say that, regulations from the government are a cure all to the issues that are facing young people, but at least y'all could have got on this shit way before now. You could have got on this shit way before now. And the US Surgeon General simply issuing an advisory, what the fuck does that do? Do you think, I mean, I'm telling y'all about it, but do you think most people give a shit about what the US Attorney General got to say about a smartphone that's keeping their third grader quiet? That's keeping them quiet. Oh shit. Top flight. Tyler, thank you so much for your super chat support, my son. My son says I have this problem myself, SMH. Still, listen, Tyler. Oh my God, talks. Shut up. Don't be too hard on yourself. But it's about awareness, right? Like, like these things are not benign. Like, I know they seem benign. I know TikTok sings songs and does dances and all that kind of shit, but seriously, you do not know what staring at all of this content repeatedly over the course of a few hours, over the course of weeks, months, years, what this does to the developing brain. And I think it's important that we really take social media and the digital devices very, very seriously. I know the smartphone can be helpful, I guess. But for example, so there was another, just to give you an idea about how little your actually kids get from staring at these screens. Like, if you're trying to teach a child, for example, a foreign language, and say you have Spanish language programming on the television, you're listening to Spanish language music, you got the kids watching Dora the Explorer in Spanish, and you're hoping your child will just learn the Spanish by osmosis. It usually doesn't work that way, because the kid has to be engaged with the content. Like, you have to speak to the child, and the child has to respond in kind, and they don't get that same level of internalization of information from the screens as they do from the person to person engagement. So even if you're watching, what's the shit? I don't even fucking know. Young Einstein. What's the shit that the parents put on for the kids? They make them smart. The little geniuses. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe the shit works. I don't know, but science says it doesn't. So anyway, all right, I'm off that. Don't let your kids be digital dope fiends, please and thank you.